Good morning, America. We're back at it again. There's Shifty saddling up for his next little run at this charade of a Barnum and Bailey. Couldn't be more proud of this guy right here. This fella right here is going to go down in history as the first gay. He might be transvestite. I don't know exactly if he is, but there was someone on it that told me that they heard from a person that was in the room with someone who was actually friends with somebody who was on a phone that heard that he's a transvestite. And this morning, before he came to this hearing, there was some things happened that we'll probably hear about in the national news that this man did right here, and it's not of what we'd call mainstream interaction between two sexes. Actually, there was only one particular sex of people that were involved. It was just, well, we won't go into that today because we have a hearing to listen to. But this guy right here is a complete, probably the one of the most evil and self-centered, insecure little pricks is what I'm just going to say. Jumpstart. So this will get underway, and this is Ramblin' Randy down here in the deep piney woods of East Texas. An absolutely gorgeous day today. A great day to have a slaying on the dais up here at this hearing and get another one of these deep state globalist bankers puppets, little games out of the way, and we can push forward to getting this country back to the way that our founders intended for it to be. So we'll pause, and we'll be underway here shortly. We're just about ready to get underway. Our protocol here will be that I will do my very best to monitor this and to narrate it the best I can and keep integrity to the video itself without it being too terribly long. There's people that are going to be making videos and clips of this. We're not going to miss anything. I can splice those together. But what I'm doing here is I'm showing all of you people what the steps I'm taking to share my story, because the Rabbit Hole Herald, the Silent Supporters Society, In Us We Trust, Friends of Paul Revere, and many other websites that will be linking to our platform that will be also supporting our mission. Great man right there. If it wasn't for this man right here, I'm not exactly sure where this country would be headed right now. He did a very noble and a patriotic thing when he exposed what was taking place way back when. It is amazing to me to think that we're going to witness the follow-through of treasonous acts is what's going to take place. If that does not take place in our country, we have no real rule of law. We have no real place where we've drawn the line in the sand where it will not ever be able to be crossed without serious consequences. And so it looks like here comes the little lady drifting through now. They're going to be having her built up to be an extremely fragile, very patriotic for life individual that would never do anything that would jeopardize the integrity of this country's. They're standing up waiting on this lady. I hope to see that we find things out about this lady. It's unfortunate for her that she's turned to the dark side, which is actually the letting her the human ego side and the manipulative side of her come forward. Let's just give her a hand as she comes in. Is that her? Here comes the little lady. Yay, here comes the lady, she's ready to fly her ass off. There she is in all her glory. There she is. Let's just see what she has to say today. Okay? There she is. I'll pause this video for a little bit so it won't run too terribly long. Oh, look, she might cry today. Okay, The spotlight's on you, sweetie pie. All rise. Ship. Ship head is in the room. The omnipotent Adam Shiphead. Okay?
Hearings.
And so it
Committee will be holding as
begins.
part of the House's impeachment inquiry. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare recess of the committee at any time. There is a quorum present. We will proceed today in the same fashion as our first hearing. I will make an opening statement, and then Ranking Member Nunes will have the opportunity to make a statement. Then we will turn to our witness for an opening statement, and then to questions. For audience members, we welcome you and respect your interest in being here. In turn, we ask for your respect as we proceed with today's hearing. It is the intention of the committee to proceed without disruptions. As chairman, I will take all necessary and appropriate steps to maintain order and to ensure that the committee is run in accordance with House rules and House Resolution 660. With that, I now recognize myself to give an opening statement in the impeachment inquiry into Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States. In April 2019, the United States Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, was in Kiev when she was called by a senior State Department official and told to get on the next plane back to Washington. Upon her return to D.C., she was informed by her superiors that although she had done nothing wrong, she could no longer serve as ambassador to Ukraine because she did not have the confidence of the president.
Let the games begin.
It was a stunning turn of events for this highly regarded career diplomat who had done such a remarkable job fighting corruption in Ukraine that a short time earlier she had been asked by the State Department to extend her tour. Ambassador Yovanovitch has been in the Foreign Service for 33 years and served much of that time in the former Soviet Union. Her parents had fled Stalin and later Hitler before settling in the United States. She is an exemplary officer who is widely praised and respected by her colleagues. She is known as an anti-corruption champion whose tour in Kiev was viewed as very successful. Ambassador Michael McKinley, who had served with her in the Foreign Service for several decades, stated that from the earliest days of her career in the Foreign Service, she was excellent, serious, committed. I certainly remember her being one of those people who seemed to be destined for greater things. Her successor as acting chief of mission in Ukraine, Ambassador Bill Taylor, described her as very frank. She was very direct. She made points very clearly, and she was indeed tough on corruption. And she named names. And that sometimes is controversial out there, but she's a strong person and made those charges. In her time in Kiev, Ambassador Yovanovitch was tough on corruption. Too tough on corruption for some, and her principled stance made her enemies. As George Kent told this committee on Wednesday, you can't promote principled anti-corruption action without pissing off corrupt people. And Ambassador Yovanovitch did not just piss off corrupt Ukrainians, like the corrupt former Prosecutor General Yuri Lutsenko.
Well, we're already starting out on the wrong foot. He's already starting to use language that is already tainting and trying to paint a picture. He's describing her like this is a prize ring match. This is my team. She's so good. All the accolades about her. This is a facts-finding mission, for God's sake.
At the State Department, there was an effort to push back, to obtain a statement of support from Secretary Pompeo. But those efforts failed when it became clear that President Trump wanted her gone. Some have argued that a president has the ability to nominate or remove any ambassador he wants, that they serve at the pleasure of the president, and that is true. The question before us is not whether Donald Trump could recall an American ambassador with a stellar reputation for fighting corruption in Ukraine, but why would he want to? Why did Rudy Giuliani want her gone, and why did Donald Trump? And why would Donald Trump instruct the new team he put in place, the three amigos, Gordon Sondland, Rick Perry, and Kurt Volker, to work with the same man, Rudy Giuliani, who played such a central role in the smear campaign against her? Rudy Giuliani has made no secret of his desire to get Ukraine to open investigations into the Bidens, as well as a conspiracy theory of Ukrainian interference in the 2016 election. As he said in one interview in May 2019, we're not meddling in an election, we're meddling in an investigation, which we have a right to do. More recently, he told CNN's Chris Cuomo, "Of course I did," when asked if he had pressed Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden. And he has never been shy about who he is doing this work for, his client, the president. One powerful ally Giuliani had in Ukraine to promote these political investigations was Lutsenko, the corrupt former prosecutor general. And one powerful adversary Lutsenko had was a certain United States ambassador named Marie Yovanovitch. It is no coincidence that in the now infamous July 25th call with Zelensky, Donald Trump brings up a corrupt Ukrainian prosecutor and praises him. Against all evidence, Trump claims that this former prosecutor general was very good, and he was shut down, and that's really unfair. But the woman known for fighting corruption, his own former ambassador, the woman ruthless...
What everyone needs to understand is that, yes, the entire organization or government over there prior to this event happening was enthralled and run and completely guided by the dark side, the bankers, the globalists. And so, yes, she was given great accolades for her great work there working for the globalists. Now that the globalists are being removed or being threatened, she isn't working in harmony with the way the foreign policy in the United States of America. She's actually working for the globalists inside of what the globalists created, which is not the system that we're supposed to be operating under, if you can understand that. We'll explain a lot more as we go, but right now Schiff is painting an artificial picture, and it will be revealed, no matter what he's saying, you can go back and listen to it, it's worthless because he's painting a picture. This guy wanted to be a screenwriter in Hollywood, an actor, and didn't make it, so this is his debut.
She was considered an obstacle to the furtherance of the president's personal and political agenda. For that, she was smeared and cast aside. The powers...
Now that's an assumption on his part. That is not, see, he's building a story without facts behind it. He's building his narrative.
Corrupt purpose. The American people expect their president to use the authority they grant him in the service of the nation, not to destroy others to advance his personal or political interests. I now recognize Ranking Member Nunes for his remarks.
I thank the gentleman. It's unfortunate that today and for most of next week we will continue engaging in the Democrats' day-long TV spectacles instead of solving the problems we were all sent to Washington to address. We now have a major trade agreement with Canada and Mexico ready for approval, a deal that would create jobs and boost our economy. Meanwhile, we have not yet approved funding for the government, which expires next week, along with funding for our men and women in uniform. Instead, the Democrats have convened us once again to advance their operation to topple a duly elected president. I'll note that five Democrats on this committee had already voted to impeach this president before the Trump-Zelensky phone call occurred. In fact, Democrats have been vowing to oust President Trump since the day he was elected. So Americans can rightly suspect that his phone call with President Zelensky was used as an excuse for the Democrats to fulfill their Watergate fantasies. But I'm glad that on Wednesday, after the Democrats staged 6 weeks of secret depositions in the basement of the Capitol, they saw us sit through hours of hearsay testimony about conversations that two diplomats who had never spoken to the president heard secondhand, third-hand, and fourth-hand from other people. In other words, rumors. The problem of trying to overthrow a president based on this type of evidence is obvious. but that's what their whole case relies on, beginning with second-hand and third-hand information cited by the whistleblower. That's why on Wednesday, the Democrats were forced to make the absurd argument that hearsay can be much better evidence than direct evidence. And just when you thought the spectacle couldn't get more bizarre, committee Republicans received a memo from the Democrats threatening ethics referrals if we out the whistleblower. As the Democrats are well aware, no Republicans here know the whistleblower's identity because the whistleblower only met with Democrats, not with Republicans. Chairman Schiff claimed not to know who it is, yet he also vowed to block us from asking questions that could reveal his or her identity. Republicans on this committee are left wondering how it's even possible for the chairman to block questions about a person whose identity he claims not to know. The American people may be seeing these absurdities for the first time, but Republicans on this dais are used to them. Until they secretly met with the whistleblower, Democrats showed little interest for the last 3 years in any topic aside from the ridiculous conspiracy theories that President Trump is a Russian agent. When you find yourself on the phone, like the Democrats did with Russian pranksters offering you nude pictures of Trump, and afterward you order your staff to follow up and get the photos, as the Democrats also did, then it might be time to ask yourself if you've gone out too far on a limb. Even as they were accusing Republicans of colluding with Russians, the Democrats themselves were colluding with Russians by funding the Steele dossier, which was based on Russian and Ukrainian sources. Meanwhile, they turn a blind eye to Ukrainians meddling in our elections because the Democrats were cooperating with that operation. This was the subject of a July 20th, 2017 letter sent by Senator Grassley to then Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. The letter raised concerns about the activities of Alexander Chalupa, a contractor for the Democratic National Committee, who worked with Ukrainian embassy officials to spread dirt on the Trump campaign. As Senator Grassley wrote, Chalupa's actions appear to show that she was simultaneously working on behalf of a foreign government, Ukraine, and on behalf of the DNC and the Clinton campaign in an effort to influence not only the U.S. voting population, but U.S. government officials, unquote. After touting the Steele dossier and defending the FBI's Russia investigation, which are now being investigated by Inspector General Horowitz and Attorney General Barr, Democrats on this committee ignore Ukrainian election meddling, even though Chalupa publicly admitted to the Democrats' scheme. Likewise, they are blind to the blaring signs of corruption surrounding Hunter Biden's well-paid position on the board of a corrupt Ukrainian company, while his father served as vice president and point man for Ukraine issues in the Obama administration. But the Democrats' media hacks only cared about that issue briefly, when they were trying to stop Joe Biden from running against Hillary Clinton in 2015. As I previously stated, these hearings should not be occurring at all until we get the answers to 3 crucial questions the Democrats refuse to ask. First, what is the full extent of the Democrats' prior coordination with the whistleblower, and who else did the whistleblower coordinate this effort with? Second, what is the full extent of Ukraine's election meddling against the Trump campaign? And third, why did Burisma hire Hunter Biden? What did he do for them? And did his position affect any government actions under the Obama administration? I'll note that House Democrats vowed they would not put the American people through a wrenching impeachment process without bipartisan support, and they have none. Add that to their ever-growing list of broken promises and destructive deceptions. In closing, Mr. Chair, the President of the United States released his transcript right before the hearing began. think it's important that I read this into the record so that there's no confusion over this first phone call that occurred on April 21st with President-elect Zelensky, and I'd like to read it. The President, I'd like to congratulate you on a job well done, and congratulations on a fantastic election. Zelensky, good to hear from you. Thank you so very much. It's nice to hear from you, and I appreciate the congratulations. The President, that was an incredible election. Zelensky, again, thank you so very much. As you can see, we tried very hard to do our best. We had you as a great example. The President, I think you will do a great job. I have many friends in Ukraine who know you and like you. I have many friends from Ukraine and frankly expected you to win. And it's really an amazing thing that you've done. I guess in a way, I did something similar. We're making tremendous progress in the U.S. We have the most tremendous economy ever. I just wanted to congratulate you. I have no doubt you will be a fantastic president. Zelensky, first of all, thank you so very much again for the congratulations. We in Ukraine are an independent country, an independent Ukraine. We're going to do everything for the people. You are, as I said, a great example. We are hoping we can expand on our jobs as you did. You will also be a great example for many. You are a great example for our new managers. I'd also like to invite you, if possible, to the inauguration. I know how busy you are, but if it's possible for you to come to the inauguration ceremony, that would be great. Great for you to be with us on that day. The President, that's very nice. I'll look into that and give us a date. At the very minimum, we'll have a great representative or more from the United States will be with you on that great day. So we will have somebody at a minimum, a very, very high level, and will be with you. Really an incredible day for an incredible achievement. Zelensky, again, thank you. We're looking forward to your visit, to the visit of a high-level delegation, but there's no words that can describe our wonderful country, how nice, warm, and friendly our people are, how tasty and delicious our food is, and how wonderful Ukraine is. Words cannot describe our country, so it would be best for you to see it yourself. So if you can come, that would be great. So again, I invite you to come. The President, well, I agree with you about your country, and I look forward to it. When I owned Miss Universe, they always had great people. Ukraine always very well represented, was always very well represented. When you're settled in and ready, I'd like to invite you to the White House. We'll have a lot of things to talk about, but we're with you all the way. Zelensky, thank you for the invitation. We accept the invitation and look forward to the visit. Thank you again. The whole team and I are looking forward to the visit. Thank you for the congratulations, and I think it will still be great if you could come and be with us on this important day. The results are incredible. They're very impressive for us. So it will be absolutely fantastic if you could come on that day. The President, very good. We'll let you know very soon, and we will see you very, very soon regardless. Congratulations, and please say hello to the Ukrainian people and your family. Let them know I send my best regards. Well, thank you, Zelensky. Well, thank you. You have a safe flight and see you soon. President, take care of yourself and give a great speech today. You take care of yourself and I'll see you soon. Zelensky, thank you very much. It's difficult for me, but I will practice English and I will meet in English. Thank you very much. The President laughing. Oh, that's beautiful to hear. That's really good. I could not do it in your language. I'm very impressed. Thank you so much. Zelensky, thank you so much. The President, good day. Good luck. I'm glad I was able to read that into the record so now the American people know the very first call that President Trump had with President Zelensky. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Mr. Chairman, I have a parliamentary inquiry.
The gentleman was not recognized. I do want to comment,
Mr. Chairman, I have a point of order under HRES 660.
The gentleman will state her point of order.
The point of order is, will the chairman continue to prohibit witnesses from answering Republican questions as you've done in closed hearings and as you did this week when you interrupted our questions?
That is not a proper point of order. The gentleman will suspend.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, I have a...
The gentleman is not recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I have a point of order.
The gentleman is not recognized.
I have a point of order, though.
The gentleman is not recognized. I do want to respond. I allowed the ranking member to...
I have a point of order.
The gentleman is not recognized.
Mr. Chairman, there are 4 transcripts that have not been released.
Gentleman is not recognized.
Holy
The ranking
cow.
member was allowed to exceed the opening statement, and I was happy to allow him to do so. I do want to respond to the call record. First of all, I'm grateful that the President has released the call record. I would now ask the President to release the thousands of other records that he has instructed the State Department not to release, including Ambassador Taylor's notes, including Ambassador Taylor's cable, including George Kent's memo, including
This guy is dreaming in full-blown Technicolor. He should be arrested today.
Conditions.
We'll
That's my point of order.
Gentlemen, will suspend.
Chief.
We would ask the President to stop obstructing the impeachment inquiry.
He is obstructing. He should be arrested right now.
He has nonetheless obstructed witnesses and their testimony and the production of thousands and thousands of other records. And finally, I would say this, Mr. President. I hope you'll explain to the country today why it was after this call and while the Vice President was making plans to attend the inauguration that you instructed the Vice President not to attend Zelensky's inauguration.
Mr. Chairman, I have a point of order. Mr. Chairman, I have a point of order under
Gentlewoman is not recognized.
So we know clearly you're going to interrupt us throughout this hearing.
Gentlewoman is not recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I have a
Today,
unanimous consent request.
today, no.
Chairman, I have unanimous consent
Gentleman is
request.
not recognized. Today we are joined by Ambassador Marie,
This is a joke.
born in Canada, to parents who fled the Soviet Union.
He's already given us all the accolades about this lady. We need to take her, wring her out, get all the real true facts out of her, arrest Ship immediately, and bring this thing to a close now.
And been nominated by presidents of both parties. George W. Bush nominated her to be ambassador to the Kyrgyz Republic, where
The rest of this is going to be a joke. I'm going to go ahead and post this up here on the net now because this is going to be a joke. The whole thing's going to be a joke. Other people are going to make clips out of this, but we're going to go ahead and render this thing up now. This is a joke. This is not America that we all grew up in and expected to live in. They're trying to commandeer. They're taking over. The enemy is within. We have been. We are under attack. They are here on our land now.
the dean at the Foreign Service Institute and taught.
May God bless us and our efforts forward. These are friends of Paul Revere. Remember the day? Well, the day's here again. And y'all brought it on.
Has received.
You drew first blood. That's what's happening here. The American citizens are sick of this. Ramblin' Randy, we down.
2 final points before our witness is sworn. First, witness depositions as part of this inquiry were unclassified in nature, and all open hearings will also be held at the unclassified level.